boots crunching the snow, his fishing gear and his catch for the day banging against his back and legs. A quarter of a mile back, the river raged. Ice floes swept along with the current as it twisted and turned through the frozen hills of Lapland. 12 miles south, the river flowed through Skellsvall, and some 100 miles beyond that, into the Gulf of Bothnia. Jan Olaf lived by himself outside of Skellsvall, and had never been south of the Arctic Circle. This was what he knew of the world. But this he did know. This land, this river, these hills. 47 years he had fished the banks of the river at a secret spot his father had found decades before that. His father was dead now, but Jan Olaf still believed what his father had told him. The gods had blessed the river. As long as it was approached with the proper respect, it would never fail to provide all the fish he could hope to carry home. 47 years, Jan Olaf has seen the proof of it, and his father and grandfather, and who knew how many shell men before them. Always a secret, though, because the men of Skellsvall would surely taint the blessing of the gods and ruin it all. Jan Olaf smiled. The gods. He was a Christian, but his father had always said that the old gods were forgotten, but not gone. That it was best to give them the respect they were due, just in case. Just in case. With a brilliance that made him flinch and shield his eyes, lightning tore a wound in the sky. Fire from the heavens reached an accusing finger toward the ground. 3 seconds later, the thunder came again. A crack so loud it was as though the earth itself had split in two. Jan Olaf swore aloud and nearly covered his ears, though of course it would have been too late to protect them from the roar. A deep frown creased his forehead. He knew this land. This was his world, and he understood all there was to understand about it. But now, this early evening, lightning split the night from a perfectly clear, star-filled sky. Thunder roared without storm or heat or even much wind. Impossible. Again, the sky brightened as a fresh tendril of lightning sliced the dark from earth to stars. It was followed immediately by yet another, this slashing down at an angle, cutting diagonally across the horizon. Thunder rolled across the land, echoing in the hollows and thumping upon the snow. Jan Olaf stared, eyes narrowed, at a spot to the northeast where the first bolt of lightning had touched ground. The first, yes, but also the second, and the third. And again the lightning split the night. The roar of thunder now had enough power to rattle his remaining teeth, and Jan Olaf was certain that the snow moved under his feet. An absurd thought went through his mind then, but he could no more prevent it than he could touch the sky. The gods, Jan Olaf thought, and a shiver passed through him that had nothing to do with the temperature. It angered him, this thought. He glanced around to mark his place. He was perhaps half a mile from his truck, just below a cleft in the hill where he and his father had camped once, long ago. Then Jan Olaf dropped his equipment and his catch and set off on a direct course to the northeast. With the snow giving way beneath his boots, it took him more than half an hour to make the trek up the steep hill and then down the other side. Large stone outcroppings jutted from the ground and served both as landmarks and resting areas that would prevent him from tumbling the rest of the way down. The sky remained pristine and clear, only the stars to mar the perfect darkness. Or that was how it ought to have been, were it not for the unnatural lightning, which only increased in frequency. It flashed so bright in those moments, it was as though the sky were on fire, and the thunder bellowed so loudly that soon his hearing seemed muffled, eardrums numbed by the sound. Jan Olaf pulled his hat down and pulled his jacket up to cover his ears, but it did not assuage the onslaught of the thunder. The roar of the heavens was inside his head now, in his heart. At last, sliding and grabbing hold of rocks, he came down a steep incline that he recognized. Just ahead, it ended in a rock ledge 5 feet above a wide stretch of riverbank where the snow was thin and patches of earth showed through.